The Atlanta Falcons lost a football game in which the defense gave up 0 touchdowns. Welcome into Falcons today. Atlanta is dead. They are done. It is over. There's no playoffs coming for this team. You lose to the 1-win Panther team, you're done. Those are the rules. Those are the rules. I made them, and I'm deciding this team is dead. Desmond Ridder, you're done in Atlanta. Maybe you start the rest of the games. Maybe you don't. Doesn't really matter. The Falcons lost an absolute stinker of a game, 9-7. And I'll be the first to say it. We should all collectively start a group GoFundMe to get a dome in Charlotte because I am tired of watching the Falcons lose to the Panthers in a rainy Charlotte afternoon. Nope. Tired of it. This team cannot play outside. They are indoor cats. And the Panthers, with an awful performance offensively, got it done with 3 field goals. Desmond Ridder threw maybe the worst interception of 2023. And that's saying a lot for a guy who has thrown a lot of interceptions. Are the Falcons mathematically eliminated? Technically, no. We look at the playoff picture, though. The Buccaneers won today. They're 7-7. Atlanta sits at 6-8. I don't know. I don't know what the path is for Atlanta other than winning out and getting a whole lot of help. But they don't look like a team that could even win out if they wanted to, right? They've got the Colts coming to town next Sunday. That's a good Indianapolis team that just won. They go to Chicago, play outdoors in December. That's not going to be a gimme against a better Bears team lately as of the first compared to the first couple of weeks. And then they round out the season down in New Orleans against the Saints team that beat the Giants today. So I'll declare it. The Falcons are dead. It's time to start talking about 2024. It's time to start talking about who's going to be the quarterback next year because it's not going to be Desmond Ridder leading this offense. An all-systems failure. Arthur Smith, we were told, is likely safe as long as this locker room does not fall apart. You know it's a really easy way to lose the locker room? When the defense does not give up a touchdown and you lose. And as for the defense, I wouldn't say very critical of them, but I've definitely gotten irritated with how many fourth quarter drives the opposing team has had this year to win games. And unfortunately, once again, even though the Falcons defense played great for the first 53 minutes, Bryce Young and company went all the way down to the 1-yard line, got in victory formation, and kicked a chip shot field goal to win. Happened in the Cardinals game, happened in the Vikings game. It's happened one too many times. Happened in the Bucs game, where the opposing team has the ball and an opportunity to be the hero, and Atlanta's defense can't come up with a stop. Do they deserve the blame for today? No. But they've got some responsibility in this loss. They let Bryce Young drive 90 yards down the field to win the game after Desmond Ridder threw an awful interception. Here are the stats side by side. This was the worst football game of the year. Actually, no. That belongs to the Raiders-Vikings. This was the second worst football game of the year. That's not something you should be proud of being a part of. 9-7. You are fighting for a playoff spot. And the NFL God said, hey, we know you're in the thick of a playoff race. We're going to give you a gimme. Here's the 1-win Panthers team. And by the way, we're going to help your defense out. We're not going to let Bryce Young and company score a touchdown. You should take care of this. But no, Desmond Ridder's interception, Bijan Robinson's fumble, said otherwise. I've got more to say, more to rip on from this team, but in just a moment. I do have to highlight our sponsor, though, to help support the channel, which is Prize Picks. If you're not familiar with Prize Picks, it is the best daily fantasy sports site out there. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. The more players you select, the more potential winnings. So I want to show you guys my winners and my losers. Here are the selections I rolled with on Sunday. I took the more on Joe Flacco's passing yards. That cleared by nearly double. Took the more on Amari Cooper's receiving yards. That cleared. And Desmond Ridder, all you had to do was just play B-level football. Couldn't get it done. So be smarter than me. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. make some selections for Sunday Night Football, for Monday Night Football, and be better than I am because Desmond Ridder, got a word for you later on. But all that information is in the comments and description of today's video. I understand it was rainy, it was bad, it was muggy. Neither team can move the ball all that well. But I just don't understand what Ridder's obsession is. When he gets into the red zone, he's like, all right, inside the 20, now we give it over, right? And they're like, Desmond, what the fuck are you doing? No, don't. We worked so hard to get here. He's like, but Xavier Woods wants that football. 152 yards, 1 touchdown. Had a nice pass to Jonnu Smith earlier, and a nice little baby flip to Cordero Patterson. The ground game really got nothing going. Again, playing in Charlotte in the rain is Atlanta's Achilles heel. 14 carries for 45 yards for Tyler Algier. Bijan was stuffed. 7 carries for 11 yards. I thought we'd see 20-plus touches for Bijan. Ultimately, a second-half fumble was not good. But the Falcons offensively just continue to be an absolute roller coaster of ability to have big plays, big chunks of yards, move the ball down the field. But there's been one constant all season long. Failure in the red zone. This team is 6-8 because of their failures in the red zone. If Desmond Ridder just takes a sack instead of forcing a throw that's intercepted, the Falcons lead 7-6 at that moment. And instead of giving Bryce Young the football for him to have a 7-minute drive, let's say they kick a field goal. All right? They go up 10-6 in that moment. And ultimately, this defense has to only give up a touchdown to lose the game. I'm a little bit more confident in that happening when Bryce Young couldn't score a touchdown all game long. So let me pose this question to you. Sitting here at 6-8, mathematically they are not dead, but I'll call it. I'll be the one. If you want someone to be the doctor to go time of death, yeah, it's week 15, 2023 in Charlotte for the 2023 Atlanta Falcons. So should Atlanta bench Desmond Ridder? It's not like you have some rookie sitting behind him in Taylor Heineke. But if the name of the game for Arthur Smith to win this game is, hey, just don't throw a pick at the 5-yard line and you should be good, Taylor Heineke could probably do that. Bryce Young, by the way, he sucks. 18 for 24, 167 yards. Enjoy your second win. I give credit to the Panthers. They made plays offensively at the end there. They held on to the football. They were aggressive. They got first downs, and they put themselves in a position to win. But, no, I don't think the Panthers are a good football team still. They scored 3 field goals. They were playing soccer. We lost to a soccer team. Lost a bunch of grass fairies out there. No traction for Drake London. I mean, Drake London and Desmond Ridder come off career highs last week. This week, it's 2 grabs for 24 yards. Pitts had 3 receptions for 37 yards. If you're looking for a sliver of good news, no big injuries came out of this game, which has been a nice break for Atlanta since they've been sustaining a lot of injuries over the last couple of weeks. Thank God Adam Thielen did drop that 1 touchdown pass. Otherwise, this game could have really been a massacre. But ultimately, Atlanta only has themselves to blame. There's no referees to blame. It's not like the Panthers made some incredible plays. It's not like they caught a Hail Mary like they did last year. No, none of that happened. The Falcons' defense did not give up a touchdown, and the offense failed them. They failed them. It's embarrassing. It's sad. And it's the 2023 Atlanta Falcons. Another 6-7, maybe 8-win season. Arthur Smith probably going to come back next year. I'm pissed off at him right now. But if you want to just blame Arthur Smith, hey, I'm not going to go to war for Art right now. I'll say this much. Arthur Smith did not throw an interception to Xavier Woods. Like, there's got to be moments where you're watching the game and you're like, hey, if Arthur Smith has a quarterback that doesn't have 20 turnovers this year, and Desmond Ridder has not even started or played all 14 games, averaging well over a turnover a game, maybe he's got a team that's won 8 or 9 games. Just some food for thought right there. But this team is dead. Time of death, week 15 in Charlotte. I don't want to hear anything about what the Falcons need to do to make the playoffs. They're not going to. They don't control their own destiny, I'm pretty sure. They'd have to win out. And what confidence do you have in this team to win their next 3 games when they couldn't even beat the Panthers? The worst team in football by a mile. I got none. So make sure to subscribe to the channel because the offseason starts tomorrow. It might not officially, but we're getting pretty darn close to it. So don't miss any of, the Bears lost today. Justin Fields could be gone in Chicago. He's your Falcon quarterback next year. Book it right now.